but a walking shadow. A poor player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. No, I'm sorry, I don't want to be a king. That's not my business. There is a child in every man who cries out in fits and turns. He cries out for freedom amidst pain and agony. Because they should and they will live happily ever after.
Dear Mr. Ram, I don't know whether I should call you by this name, Amita or Amit Uncle. My figuring out the name to call you is as heavy as my relationship with you. I don't even know whether you like me or not. My mother says you are a bad man. He ruined quarter of her life with you. Maybe you are. Who knows? See, don't think I am writing this letter to you to become friends or anything. I just need an answer. Are you my father?
Dear me, yes, I know your name and I just got your letter some time back. Well, I myself am yet to figure out whether I'm actually your father or not. Well, scientifically speaking, I can be your father, I may not be your father. I did sleep with your mother. I know it sounds cliche, but then, who is a father? I've never seen you, touched you, felt you. How can I be your father?
Amita, I decided to call you that. Look, I'm not bothered about you and your silly stories. Can I expect a more clear-cut answer?
Decide, Neil. Do you actually want a father? Or do you need somebody who you can call a father? Oh, well, if it's the former, then I can't really help you because I'm in the same boat as you are. But if it's the latter, then maybe I could help you.
You know, as a child in school, we were asked to write 5 lines on your father. I didn't know what to write. So I wrote, my father is my hero, he is tall and strong. That is what every father should be. That's what my mother told me. As I grew up looking on myself, I knew that was a myth. Or maybe I lacked the potential of being a father. I used to stick to the first explanation. Actually, the only constant man in my life has been the milkman, and he was strong and tall.
You are a cute little fine fellow.
I've heard of Longfellow now with a fine fellow.
You have a nice sense of humor. Tell me more about yourself.
I like to smoke hash, get drunk, often get into local brawls, and broke into some bashes who were trying to intrude into my life.
Sounds nice to know that you actually have a life. Because in most cases in our generation, most people don't have lives. So, what kind of life do you lead? Is it a happy one? Or is it a sad one?
A happy one. Indeed, a very happy one. Oh, let me guess. You have a tattered, miserable, and a horribly gone wrong life, right?
I lead a very happy life. In fact, happier than the one that you lead. I am a simple man with simple tastes and simple aspirations. And so that is me.
But you are a failed filmmaker.
No, yes. I am a filmmaker and a very successful one. Just a filmmaker who has never tasted success.
What kind of an explanation was that? You have never tasted success and you call yourself successful. It's like Rahul are talking about the cons of being a PM.
You see, my boy, the definition of success is a very relative term. It depends from individual to individual. If I am a failed filmmaker, then Ritik Kodok was probably a dead filmmaker.
Ritik Kodok was a living character even after his death, and true conformist. A man of strong artistic ideas. He never let go of his responsibilities to adopt new responsibilities. He was a true man.
How many times must a man walk down before you can call him a man? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
You are a pessimistic misanthrope and complete nuisance to my time. Just go to hell!